Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is day 39 as the Democratic Republic of Congo and Conflict of Nations World War III. Now, we started our invasion over here of Myanmar, and it's going quite well. I left this tank division over here that's moving through my territory, and it's basically infantry with one main battle tank unit. Now, the reason I did that is I wanted to show you cruise missiles. I've got these strike fighters. He's just loitering out here. I'm going to have him patrol in a little closer. And what I'm going to do is launch cruise missiles at this guy over here. So cruise missiles, it's kind of a misnomer. It's a cruise missile, and I think cruise missile like a Tomahawk cruise missile, which is used against a variety of different targets. This is almost more like a Maverick kind of missile. If I look at what the, if I come over here to my research section and I pull up the missile section, I'm looking at cruise missile, and I'm researching this KH-55 right now. And really, if we look at the damage, it does some damage to infantry, parked aircraft, but it does heavy damage to tanks and heavy damage to ships. And so it seems more like a Hellfire missile or a Maverick missile that's used to attack like armored targets versus infantry that can be dispersed. So to get this missile, the kind I'm using is I just have a guided missile program which makes it so you can create warheads. And then I had to research in this case, ballistic missiles first and then cruise missiles, and then I went up the cruise missile chain. Your ballistic missiles are what's used primarily towards like cities and static objects, where cruise missiles are made to attack military targets. So whenever we have these, certain vehicles can carry these cruise missiles, and then you just click on the vehicle that you're going to launch from. If it has a missile launch button, it can launch missiles, and you need to have warheads available. And the higher you are in the cruise missile research chain, like initially it's going to use one warhead, and then when you get up to the mid-level it's going to use 2, and then the higher end it's going to use 4. So just keep that in mind, that you're going to burn through your warheads a little faster than maybe you expect as you work your way up the research chain. So I've got 5 aircraft. Each aircraft can carry 1 cruise missile. You can see I'm highlighting over here, and it shows me the range that I can launch these out to. And then I just highlight the target, which is that, and it will ask you if you want to confirm, and I do, and I launch. Now, 1 cruise missile is enough to take out that tank. I'll launch 2 to kind of, because I can. I'm basically going to go through and wear down this infantry unit. And then I'm just going to send my aircraft, the rest of them, in to do a regular attack. Because if I look back over here, I mean, it doesn't do near the damage the cruise missile does, but I don't have to expend warheads. And I try to save those for armored vehicles or ships, because they're a little bit more dangerous to me, and they can shoot my aircraft down, or if I fire a bunch of missiles at them. And so your later strike fighters can carry 2 missiles apiece. So this could have launched 10 missiles. And you just, I mean, so you can overwhelm, like a ship will have decent anti-aircraft defenses, and you want to overwhelm those defenses using these cruise missiles to make your attack. Now, the rest of our operations through here, for some reason, I was trying to move all these units down, have them come down here and then center them and then take them through the rest of this territory. And I've had this happen 3 times now. It must be a bug, because they stopped moving. I came back and everything, they were like partially moved. They're at where they're sitting right now. And then all of a sudden they seem to have like disconnected and lost their way, which I find to be very irritating. Same thing over here. These 2 units over here, they were just kind of lost. I am using a lot of aircraft. If you look, it's kind of like a combined arms method, quasi, right? I mean, it's a game. But I have land units. I've got air support working with those. I am actually, if you come over here and look at my intel sheet, I have all these intelligence operations, some of them sabotage, some of them corruption, where I'm basically taking as resources from them. So I'm doing really a full 3-dimensional kind of attack against Myanmar. And actually, unfortunately, over here is Bangladesh is like right in the way, and we're just going to have to roll through there. And he's got this city that produces, I thought they produce money, but no, they produce electronics. So, and like this guy had stopped as well. I wanted to take this city. I don't want these units that are moving over to have to land here in hostile territory. I don't think there's any hostile territory, to be honest with you right now. I think all of this is empty. I did have their units that I was tracking up through here, but I think the only unit left in this, basically this side of Bangladesh, is this tank unit that's rolling through here. All right, so, and I have a lot of my units all moving over here. Now, earlier, it's not here, but earlier this morning when I logged in, there was an in-game box down here. And that means we're getting really close to the end of the game. And so the users that are still playing can vote whether they want to end the game or not. And it's basically because of the score. We're becoming pretty lopsided now. So if we look at the score, I'm still running, like, I don't know, a little over 225 points behind UK. And then on down, well, when you get down here, so these people, there's no other alliance left. And then you've got like Rogue State is like the number 4 ranked right now, because there's a lot of people that aren't really tracking and keeping down on the Rogue State. Japan is and Myanmar's going to seriously decrease here in just a little bit as we roll through there. So, and the only other real country that was a threat was Brazil, and you can see they've really dropped off, and I just don't see Japan or Myanmar being a major threat, except for Japan's probably got a navy still left. I don't know if the UK is the UK even at war with Japan? That's a good question. Let's check this out. No, Kazakhstan is. I'm not sure what the status of their navy is, and I do fly a lot of peeps in, so they're flying into this airport here, but then they're shipped through here, so I would want to put an AWACS out here and make sure that this stays clear of any adversarial naval units. Okay, so we are going to let this guy come in here, and these cruise missiles, and see the cruise missiles now. If you look here, the speed of the cruise missile, if I click on it, he's about 7 minutes out. He is moving at a 10, whatever that value means in the game. He's moving at 12, so he's going to strike before the cruise missiles get here. But if I look at how his composition is, he doesn't really have much in the way of anti-air capability, really just pretty minimal. I don't expect to take much casualties on my aircraft, so I'm going to go ahead and let them perform their strike. I've got this AWACS coming back on station over here. We're going to move him closer up to the front here. I want to keep track of what's happening over here. I've got another drone coming back online, and we will probably send him over here into Bangladesh just to see what this guy's got in his capital. So Bangladesh, if I click on this, you get this little symbol right here. It's a computer player. It's AI, or I don't even know if they have AI run it, but it's not a human that's playing this, and so I don't really expect him to react too much. And he might have a unit there or two, but it's going to be pretty minimal, so we should breeze right through here and with minimal interference. I needed to capture this early, but for whatever reason, my stuff stopped. I needed to get this airbase, so I get an airbase basically in theater where I'm operating at, but I'm also building an airbase here. I still got 17 hours left, but that will provide me some level of air operations here close to basically where my theater of operations are at. I'll have one here and I'll have one up here where I can start leveraging this. And so if I'm going to use helicopters, I need to keep these up closer to the front line, but my strike aircraft, my AWACS, they can travel some distance. But keep in mind, the closer that these air bases are to your front line, even with your strike units, the faster they'll turn around and be able to do damage to the enemy that you're fighting, versus having them a long way away. Then they spend a long time traveling back and forth and aren't doing the amount of damage per hour or whatever it is that they can actually do. Okay. We've got these units moving in. They're going to embark on ships over here out of this air base and move up through here. And I think really up here we're kind of done. Over here, I think even if I come up here and look, I'm at 32, 36, so this guy can probably move out of here. The question is it even worth to move him this late in the game? But I will go ahead and move him over here. Have him, you know what, I'm going to have him roll into here. That way. He's at 36 too. I'm going to have him go that same direction. Okay, I don't want him to go through that port because I don't know what is at that port. And the reason I'm moving a lot of infantry over here is as we roll into here, he's got a lot of cities over here that we're going to have to deal with, which means we're going to end up bleeding off infantry as we move through there to leave them in the rear areas to protect, basically what we're running through over here. Now, I've got some more, I moved this stealth fighter back over here to this airbase where there's a hospital. And we talked about this in another video, but the hospital that I built up here, if I can get to it, I built up a level 5 hospital, which lets me restore 6 hit points per day per unit, right? So if I look at this, he's down 19.1. I'm not sure if I get 12 or 6 on him, but if I had like infantry in here, each one of those would get 6 hit points. So if he was to restore 12 hit points a day, he's going to be back to full health tomorrow. I put my anti-aircraft units here, my SAM units. I've kind of linked them, like I said, not in the cities, but next to the cities. That way, if somebody sends a strategic bomber over to bomb my city, he can engage them, but he won't end up being a target. Let's take a look at our, wait a minute, we've got our strike fighters that just hit that, so you can see his tanks are gone. We did some damage to his infantry. This guy is still 1 minute 45 out. He's got 24 hit points left on that infantry unit, so we'll come back and take a look at him here in a minute, one after that cruise missile hits it, and see what it did. So back down here though, we just want to keep the production going up to the end of the game, just in case there's a surprise that we're prepared for it. So what we're going to do is continue on. I'm going to restock my warheads because I'm going to start using these a lot more. Got another stealth fighter, warheads. We are going to I'm going to dump out another SAM unit here. He's building warheads. I think he's building another stealth strike aircraft. We're bringing him up to speed, but we're going to have him continue to produce infantry. And I have one city down here. He's working on infantry, and he takes a long time to produce infantry because he doesn't have this building here, this recruiting office, basically speeds up your mobilization speed. And so after you get to level 5, it literally is cutting your production time supposedly by half, increasing your manpower production and your flat resource bonus. I don't know what that means if you get 200 more or whatever resource you're producing, like fuel or whatever the case may be. Let's go back over here and take a look at this aircraft strike. So yeah, you can see that cruise missile he's got like less than 1 hit point left on that unit. And actually, if I got this guy left, so I'm going to have him just come in, and we are going to knock him off. Unfortunately, he's going to be into that territory pretty quick, but once I get these units through here, I'm just going to roll right back through here and take care of that. Actually, I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to have them roll right down into here. Little 10 till 9 tonight, he'll be into here. And really the game plan right now is once we finish off the rest of this, we're going to roll through here and then be in kind of his heartland and start mopping up all these little territories. And if we're lucky, that might put us into the lead. I mean, if we look at like this city here, it's worth 9 victory points, 9 victory points, 8 victory points. Bangladesh is 10 victory points. We're 200 points behind the UK right now. So I think we shall do okay with that. Trying to see where the rest of my aircraft are at. We're going to swing them down here so they can patrol in this area. I got a feeling this is really where we're going to run into business as we roll through here, but I got to get the rest of my infantry moved up. So that is where we're at. Let's go back through just really quick. Oh, he knocked off my oh, there's definitely something in this territory right here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this over the next few hours as he's rolling through here. We got basically my elite infantry battalion leader was lost by a tank division down here. So there is something over here. Sometimes your AWACS don't pick up everything. I don't know if it's based on terrain or whatever the case may be. So we're going to send this drone down here and have him take a look and see if, as soon as we can identify that unit, we got these fighters coming down here that are supposed to be on station. Once they get on station and we identify that, we know that's an armored unit, and we are going to use cruise missiles against him. All right, and I think that is what we have right now. Let's see what else we've got. So I always come in here and check to make sure I'm not missing something. Oh, they were saying we must have seized that at some point. Okay, we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. So we're doing pretty good right now. Like I said, we're 200 points behind the UK. As far as research, we've got more cruise missile and more strike fighter. Hoping to get more range out of that and more hit power on the cruise missiles. And that's kind of where we're going to sit for right now. So appreciate you guys watching. If you like these videos, please do me a favor. Hit the like button down below. That'll help more people find my videos. And if you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. That'll help my channel out a lot. I appreciate you watching. Take care and look forward to seeing you back next time. Thanks. Bye.